That's right. My portfolio's up 18.4% this year. I'll show it to you in a bit. But I know, Homer, you're saying, yeah, but Tesla's up 96%. Let me ask you something, Homer. Do you know what a zero-day expiration option is? Acronym ODTE. Do you know what that is? Do you know how it works? Do you know that there are people who are trading options with a zero-day expiration date? Do you know when you're being played? Does it make any sense that a stock goes up 96% in less than a month? No, it doesn't. So if you don't know the game you're playing, why are you playing the game? I would ask you, what beats four of a kind in a poker hand? If you don't know that, you should not be playing poker.
Best of Us Investors presents Carrie Griegmeyer.
There is one purpose and one purpose only for this video, and that is to educate you, to bring you aware of what's going on in the world that you're playing in, and that is the stock market. And I don't believe that most people know what's going on and how the market is being manipulated. How did I learn about this? Just this Friday, we had our stock meeting. It's part of our Tribe's Discord program, and I was going on about how I thought artificial intelligence and machine learning and big data is going to drive the big tech six back up into the areas they were in price and valuation in the past. And my son Trent spoke up and said, "You don't know that the market is being manipulated through zero-day trading options." And I said, "I don't know what that is." And he went on to explain it to the tribe, and one of the members, John, spoke up and said, "I didn't understand a thing that you said." And I realized that's basically most of the people that I speak to who are in the stock market, who are coming to YouTube to become better stock traders, or in my case, I hope not traders so much as investors, unless you're doing day trading and you understand what you're doing. And that's something that we also teach on our Discord. So I went and I found this article on what zero-day trading options are, and I read it. And then I got done with it, and I looked at it and said, I need to read that again. I read it a total of 3 times, and I have some understanding, but the terminology is beyond my understanding. And I was in the stock market, a financial planner, for over 20 years. And what I realized is we're being had. And I think what is happening with Tesla is a direct representation of that, as to how there are derivatives being created that day traders are using to move stocks in unrealistic manners. And I think Tesla, I believe, is one of those, because it was down about 65%, and then it went up in less than a month 93%. That's not real, particularly when you're dealing with a company that 50% of their manufacturing is done in China, 50% of their sales are done in China, and they announced in December that they weren't selling all the cars they were making, so they were reducing the prices to reduce inventory. And then they talked about problems they're having getting supplies for batteries and such, and yet somehow the stock goes up 93, 96% in less than 30 days. That's not real, okay? So I believe this is part of what's happening. Let's look at a Tesla chart. Does that look realistic to you? Okay, I don't think it does. But do I believe, on the other hand, that the market is going to rally? I do. But I think you need to be aware that there are areas of the market that are going to be manipulated. And if you see it, you need to have an understanding. So I want you to read this article 2, 3, 10, whatever times it takes, not so much for you to understand it, but to be aware of it. And to be aware that there are people that are manipulating the market. Now, is this the Reddit's group that's doing this? No. No, it is not. You need to understand the ballpark you're playing in. 96% of all trades that are made in a given day are made by the Wall Street establishment. That's hedge funds, that's trading houses, that's whatever. Okay, 96. And most of them are made by computers. Okay, so they are looking at this and they have created a derivative. And that's what, you buying and selling stock is a real. A derivative of that is what this is, options trading. We've known what options trading is for years, but this element is less than a year old. Why? So that the machine can beat you out of your money. And that's what I think is happening. I think this machine is trading so rapidly, pushing Tesla stock up until they and why Tesla stock? Because that's the most massively popular stock in the retail trade business in the world. It is the most susceptible to black magic. Okay, and that's what I think they're doing, and I want you to be aware of it. So here again, copy this URL down and go read this article and then read it again until you are aware of what is happening. And then, so when you see something like this, 96% in less than a month, you recognize what's possibly happening. What this also brought to my attention was, what about NVIDIA? NVIDIA is up 47%. Could they be doing that with NVIDIA? Could I be getting sucked in on that? I don't know, but I'm aware of it. I'm aware of what is possible. Has anything like this ever happened again? Yeah, this is the subprime crisis. This was credit default swaps. They created an instrument, an investment that wasn't real. It was a bundle of garbage that was jacked up by a few good investments in it, and then they got the S&P rating service to give it high ratings, and then they basically screwed the public. Okay? That's basically what happened. Why is our national debt so high? Because of credit default swaps and the fact that starting to get us out of that, we started printing money at the rate of $1 trillion a year until we got to 2020 when we just upped that to about $9 trillion a year. So understand the game you're playing and then play accordingly. So what is the long and short of this? Become aware of what zero-day trading options are. And as Warren Buffett says, when the tide goes out, you're going to find out who's swimming without swimming trunks. And that's, I believe, Homer, Tesla. I believe this is being manipulated, and you need to be aware of it. At the same token, I want to reemphasize that I believe that artificial intelligence, machine learning, genome sequencing, genome editing, the war in Ukraine, the conflict with China are all things that are going to change our horizon and going to present investment opportunities. I told you I'd show you my portfolio and how I'm allocated and how part of this I don't have yet. The part I don't have basically is big tech. I'm buying back into big tech, but I'm going to show you where I want to be and how those stocks have behaved since the 3rd of January. So let's take a look at that. Okay, this is my portfolio. My wannabe portfolio. The part of it that isn't in place is right here. I got out of big tech and I've moved away from it. But what I did was I don't really like the presentation that the brokerage houses give me. I want more information. And so I built this on Excel spreadsheets, a part of Microsoft's program. And what this does is this gives me, I enter the name of the stock, and and then I go in and identify that as a stock, and it gives me a current price, and that price updates every, I don't know, 2-3 minutes. I put in the number of shares that then and my current what I paid for it, my purchase price, and rather than I wanted to look at my portfolio on a year-to-year basis. And some of these, I've held for 3 years, but I want to know what is the market doing this year. And so this gives me my return on investment since the artificial buying date of 1/3/23. So it says if I had bought Amazon on 1/3/23 at $85.42, I'd be up 20.5% this year. And so I've done that. Then I took the stocks that I hold, such as Illumina, Editas. This is not what I paid for them. This is what they were selling for on 1/3/23. And so now I'm looking at what is happening this year on these stocks, and as you can see, it's up 6.7%, but for the day, Friday, it was down 4.75. So this is giving me an accurate reading. It also shows me the PE ratio, the earnings per share, what I call the fair price, and that is basically, I believe a stock should be priced somewhere around a 20 PE ratio, what their earnings are, how many shares they have out, and then this is my over and under, how much over or underpriced I think that stocks are. So that's how I did that. So based on that, if I had held all these tech stocks on January the 3rd, I'd be up 28%. My health cure stocks, I'm up 27.6. Then I have an energy portfolio, and these are stocks that, because I believe energy is going to be a big player in 23, I'm up to date for the year, up 4.4. Biggest one up Matador. Actually, lowest one up Occidental Petroleum. Then I have my defense stocks, because I think the world is going to wake up and say we have to build a military, and that's not only the United States, it's the rest of the world. And so I have some stocks in here that are military, and as you can see, they're all down except this one. I call it military, but it's really not. It's a Mountain Pass. This is our rare earths manufacturing opportunity in the United States. It's up 40% thus far this year. And then I have my dividend portfolio, and you can see here it's up about 5.8. Over here, rather than over and under, I have the dividend that it pays. So overall, I'm up 18.2% on my where I'm trying to get portfolio that I want to move forward with. So that's how I manage my portfolio. I've wondered, how can I teach you how to do this? Because I think this is genius, and somehow the brokerage houses have to figure out how to do this. So that's my portfolio. That's where I'm going. That's me. That's my portfolio. I get up every day and I ask myself the question, how can I enlighten my audience a bit more as to what's going on in the stock market? How can I use my past knowledge, my CFP, CHFC, CLU? And I got to tell you, I've learned more since I've been retired about how the stock market operates than I did worth any of that education. So that's where I think I can add some value to the equation, is to those people who say, and number one, I enjoy what I'm doing. That I'm speaking of you. I'm a long-term investor. I want some information on what's going to happen in the future. I don't want to deal with zero-day trading options, but I need to be aware of them so that if I see something that doesn't look real, can I look over here and say, well, maybe zero-day options are creating that. Maybe the Wall Street machine is playing me. And that's what I think they're doing with Tesla. That's my opinion, Homer. That's all it is. But I want to share with you, because I have a belly button, I have the right to have an opinion. If you don't understand that, okay. All right. That's my take on what's going on today. Let's just be safe. I think the market's going to rally because artificial intelligence, genome sequencing, genome editing, quantum computing, the world will look nothing like what it does today in 5 years. No. You're going to have a chip in the back of your neck within 10 years, and you'll be a computer. Talk to you again tomorrow.